Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and gays.
From gutters to gay bars and everywhere in between.
Here to finish off your Tuesday, it's your three besties, two brunettes and a gay.
Welcome back, everyone, and happy Tuesday. It has been a very exciting week, and we have a very exciting show for you because, well, actually devastatingly, change pace, we've lost our gay.
Well, he's not lost. We know exactly where he is. Aaron, shout out to you if you're listening in, I don't know if it's sunny Gold Coast. We're missing you, but we have a fabulous special guest taking his place tonight, which we are so excited to have joining us.
We are, and actually this is the first time we've had a guest co-host since the inception of Two Brunettes and a Gay radio/podcast adventure 13 long weeks ago.
It's been a long time.
So I bet you're all waiting in anticipation for who this incredible guest might be. And look, we're about to put you out of your misery. Now, this man is your number one man about town for fashion, foliage, and a full life. He's Adelaide Sunday Mail columnist on your Markus and entrepreneur at the Botanic Designer. Plus, Markus Presents AU. Of course, give it up for the one, the only, Markus Hammence.
Oh, well, hiya. Thank you for having me. Can I officially be called the gay gate crusher?
Oh, my God, yes. Why
we?
did we not think of that?
I was telling all my friends this morning.
Yes, the gay
Over
gate
coffee.
crusher is here.
Okay, if you're listening on socials, head to Two Brunettes and a Gay Facebook or Instagram and maybe comment on one of our posts and hashtag gay gate crusher. Let's
Gay
get that
gate
started.
crusher.
Yes,
The
I love
gay
that.
gate
It's a tongue
crusher.
twister
We love
almost,
it. It is,
isn't it?
It's really hard to
Get
say.
your tongue around that.
And look,
but that's
I'm
what all the boys say.
Yes.
exactly.
Get your tongue around that.
That is what they say. And I am renowned in our shows. David's
For not
already
getting your
lost
tongue
it.
around anything. You can't pronounce one single
I'm
word.
sorry. I am renowned.
Is it too late to get Aaron back?
It's too late. That's it. You're strapped in for the ride. And again, the boys like to say that too. So it's already the beginning of the show. David Heath's lost it. We're off to a good start. But we are going to talk a little bit more to the fabulous Markus a little bit later on in the show.
We've got a lot more to talk to him about.
We've got a lot more to talk to him about, actually. But there's been some big news this week, Celeste.
Oh, there's some big news every week, I think we say. But this week seems to have been quite a big one because we had the King's Coronation on Saturday.
Woohoo!
Oh, there's the music in the background. David Heath is on it once again.
Yes.
He did tell me the name of this song. What is this song called, David?
Zadok the Priest.
Zadok the Priest, which has been used in every coronation
Since
ceremony
1727.
since 1727. There you
That's
go.
a long time.
It's a very long time, right? So we had the coronation. I can say truthfully that the three of us, myself, Deanna and Markus, did not watch it.
But we're going to do our best to report
But we're
on
going
it
to
anyway.
recap on it in the best way that we can. So it was a big event. He was crowned, although classified as a, in quotation marks, slim down ceremony. And David explained to me the reason it was classified as slim down is because he only had 2,000 guests present at the coronation, as opposed to Queen Elizabeth's 8,000 guests when she was, I guess, named the Queen over 70 years ago. What is
Was that the official title?
coronated? Was she coronated?
The Queen. Is that, yes, Her Majesty? I don't
Crowned.
She was crowned.
She was crowned.
God.
Look, we're
She was
sounding
not
really smart
coronated.
right now.
She was crowned the Queen. Just to clarify that. Okay, big thing. Obviously,
Yeah.
Prince Harry, he was present. We weren't sure if he was going to. Well, I think that we kind of expected him to be, but he was present. But he was in the third row. He wasn't
I
sitting,
feel like that's
you
like
know.
a kick in the guts, right?
He arrived alone. He wasn't accompanied with Meghan. He arrived with his cousins, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, and their partners. And he was sat in the third row. And as far as we know, I believe he was covered in the ceremony.
Upstage.
He was upstaged by a hat.
By a feather.
By a feather, actually.
A feather on a
Not
hat.
even the whole hat.
You know what? He was lucky that it was that instead of your hair sitting in front of him, though, Markus, because otherwise no one would have been able to
You
see
don't
him
even
at all.
know how many people sit behind me in the theatre and ask for a new seat.
You know
Do
what's
they
funny?
really?
A lot.
You know what's funny though? Somebody actually told me me that they sat behind you in Rocky Horror recently. Really? Because they were like, we couldn't see over his hair.
Couldn't see nothing.
At least he's recognisable.
First question for our guest, though. Are you pro Harry and Meghan, or are you like...
Oh, look, I'm pro-personality. You know, give me a good story and I'm there. I'm hooked.
Yeah, okay.
I don't mind. Let's
You don't
not
mind
be
the
judgy.
drama. You don't mind the...
Give me a bit of drama. Take me for a ride.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm open-minded, you
Yep.
know.
Open to a bit of everyone.
Total.
Like that.
There's my dating life wrapped up. Bang.
Wrapped up in a couple seconds.
More on that after the show, too. Or
Well,
later
actually,
in the
can
show.
I tell you something? I was on Facebook this morning as I woke up because, I mean, that's what you do. Head off the pillow straight to Facebook.
Yep.
And I saw the best wrap-up of the Coronation.
Yes.
Tell us.
A man sits down and gets a hat.
That's
That
fantastic.
sounds like it sums up the whole... Like, how long
I
did
just
it go
spent-
for? Like 5-6 hours?
No, 2 hours was the ceremony. David told me that. But I just spent a half an hour with David Heath educating me on the ceremony.
Well, I love that you
And
mentioned...
it just got wrapped up in 2 seconds right there. There you go. Love that.
I just feel like it's notable to mention that this slimmed-down ceremony, David also told us, what cost 150 million pounds?
150
Of
million
taxpayer
pounds.
money?
That's exactly right. Yep.
Yeah.
And I guess it begs the question: should they have paid for it themselves? Because it was paid for by British taxpayers' money.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be super impressed if my taxes paid for it.
I mean,
Look what happens to Sam Smith, you know? When taxpayers pay for something.
oh,
Don't start that one again. That was just in the paper this morning.
Was it?
There's a massive thing about that again.
Ooh, well, we need to add
About
that
the
to the...
influencers.
oh, okay.
Let's
yep.
add that to the gossip later in the show. Actually,
Definitely.
we have a big show, so stay tuned because coming up after the break, we're going to talk a little bit more to Marcus about his fascinating life.
Yes.
So we'll be back shortly with more Two Brunettes and a Gay. So in case you missed it, we're in the studio with the incredible Markus. Is it Hammence or Hammence?
You know what? My mum and dad say Hammence. I say Hammence.
Oh, okay, so it's whatever
know.
you want it to be.
You know what? You make it fancy, baby cakes.
Right. It's like
Whatever
us.
you
Like
feel
some
like
people
on the
say,
day.
like I say carbone. I think you say carbone, like...
I don't think I've
forever.
ever heard you say Deanna Carbone. I'm pretty sure I've always heard you say Deanna Carbone. Why lie?
No, I don't know. I'm not lying. I feel like people always ask me if it's carbone or carbone, and I'm like, it can be
We
whatever
actually
you
don't
want
know
to.
what it is.
Well,
I don't
no,
know what it is.
carbone. Well, it's carbone. It's Italian, so it's technically carbone, right?
I don't know if we should be
Say
advertising that that's your
carbone.
last name
I know,
either.
I know. Sorry, if you've been listening to the station and you're from Radio Italia Uno for a while and you just found out that we're actually carbonis, I'm really sorry.
Shout out to her mum, dad.
Shout out to mum and dad. No, that's right. Well, okay, Markus Hammence or Hammence, whatever you would like to do, is joining us to take over Aaron's spot in the studio while he is in the sunny Gold Coast this evening.
Lucky Aaron.
We're missing
know,
you,
right?
Aaron.
It's so cold here today.
It is so
It's just
cold
like
here.
instantly zapped in
Winter,
there. That
right?
Winter, didn't it?
I know.
It did. It just
Crept
dropped
in.
and it just like now I feel like we've just got that cold snap. And it's just here to stay right now. But we are actually going to get to know Markus on a little bit more of an intimate level, as we like to do here on the show. Because you're probably thinking, well, who, if you don't already know, because you've been under a rock, who is this wonderful Markus, and why is he worthy of the Gay's spot as co-host on our show here tonight? And we're going to tell you there's lots of reasons.
Oh,
But
sweet.
Markus,
Tell me, ask me anything.
Ask you
Nothing's off
anything.
limits.
He
darling.
actually said that in the break. He said, "Ask me anything," and we said we will.
that's
Oh,
right.
I'm about to be probed.
I know we actually should have put this out on socials and seen if anybody had any some really juicy questions to ask Markus. But no, to start off with, let's ease into it first. Tell us about you, because you do so many things, and we get it. We do a lot of things too, and people are always saying to us, like, how do I keep up with you guys? But I feel like you're even next level. So
You
what
wear a lot of hats.
you wear a lot of hats, even though it might be difficult for them
My
to
hair
fit.
is my hat.
Your hair is your hat. Tell us about you.
Well, you know what? I live by the philosophy that, if you have got the luxury to wake up, you do it with gusto and everything you've got, because there's a million, trillion, billion dead people that would much rather take your space. So I just want to wake up every day, spread joy, spread cheer, and do as much as I possibly can every single moment, and live life, because that's what we've got in our hands every single moment, you know. So do it and have fun. I very much love being a creative person. I'm very much want to dabble and create and do things, produce things, all of that. So for me, when you get the opportunity to work in environments that you're passionate about, it never feels like work.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't feel like work, you just take on more and more, don't you find?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you realise you've got no spare time, which happens a lot. But you're still doing the things that you love. So, yeah, I do a million things, but I love those million things. And, you know, for some people, it involves, you know, sending 4 children off to school or 3 children off to school. For me, it's about looking after bucket loads of plants and a couple of different jobs, you know, but it's all relative. Everyone's got a crazy life. Everyone's got a busy life.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's just busy in different ways. You know?
Yes, of
So
course.
for me, and you get into the rhythm of what you do, you know?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you wear a lot of hats. You have a plethora of different careers behind you, including event planning and management, hosting and presenting, horticulturalism and interior design. And you're a columnist for the Sunday Mail. But is there a true career love that you have? Is there one thing that you do that is the one thing that really doesn't feel like work to you at all? Or is it all of them?
It's all pretty much all of it. It is pretty much all of it. I think at the basis of all of those jobs, it's about spreading some form of joy and happiness, you know?
Yeah.
And if not for myself, well, definitely for myself, but then, you know, affecting other people so other people smile just that little bit more.
Yeah.
Let's spread a tidal wave of smiles
Tidal wave of love.
across Adelaide. Let's do it. But it starts with you, you know. It literally does. You can't wait for the rest of the world to make you smile.
Yep.
You start it and let it all evolve from there. And for me, what makes me happy, what makes me smile is doing creative, beautiful work.
Yeah.
But like, I think everyone gets addicted to something, you know. For me, I get addicted to the work that I do. And it's fun,
Yes.
you know. And I don't think it's a bad addiction. You know, there are bad addictions you can get stuck into sometimes. As far as being a workaholic, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, if it makes me happy, that's all.
If you enjoy what you
makes other
do.
people happy around me,
Yeah.
you know, that's okay, right?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, you look,
There's worse things
you're
I could
preaching
do.
to the choir here because we love to work as
Let's
well.
get the same T-shirt. Totally.
Yes,
Let's
do it.
wear the same T-shirt.
What I'd love to know, though, is
Yeah.
how did you get started in all of this? Where did you start? Did you have a background in a corporate job and you left? Have you always been this way?
I started as a graphic designer when I was 15, actually.
right.
So I
Okay,
started
cool.
with that. And then my... I guess it all just really evolved from there. I really loved the whole ability to express yourself in some way. So at that time, I was very shy back then, extremely shy and very introverted. So a lot of my self-expression came out through what I could actually produce graphically, you know, whether it be show posters, mock album covers and all that, because one day I definitely wanted to bring out an album. I still haven't done it yet.
Should do that.
Time's
Add
not
it
up.
to the
Put it on the
list.
list.
But it was always about expressing myself through my graphics. Me being a gay child, knew that I was going to be gay at a young age. I had to really try and work out where I was and why didn't I
Yeah.
enjoy talking to guys in the schoolyard about cars and sport, and why I wanted to hang out with women, but not because I wanted to pash them, because I wanted to, you know, talk about their fashion and all of that kind of stuff. So, you know, it took a while to kind of really settle in. So I had to find ways to express myself, and it came out through creative ways.
Yeah,
You know.
wow.
So that's how it all started.
Wow, what a
And then it just
journey.
evolved from there.
Well, what do you do for downtime, Marcus? Or do you have any downtime?
Yes. Well, some people wouldn't consider it downtime, but I've got 600 plants in my home, and I know we're going to be talking about that later. So my downtime, it is my meditation. Meditation comes in many, many forms.
Yeah.
Right.
For me, my meditation is walking around my home for about an hour and a half every Saturday morning, watering my plants, listening to
Wow.
Nina Simone.
What a ritual.
That is my thing. Putting on incense, Nina Simone, and walking around for an hour and a half in quietness, not having to talk. I talk to my plants, mind you, but that's my downtime.
We
It makes me
definitely
happy.
have to hear more about the
I
plants.
have to hear more about the plants. I have
After
so
the
many
break.
questions about the plants.
So many questions, and we've got so many more juicy questions to ask Marcus. So stay tuned. After the break, we will be back with more Two Brunettes and a Gay.
are back with Two Brunettes and a Gay. It is Tuesday night, and we are joined by our gay gatecrusher this week, our special guest co-host, Markus Hammence, who, if you weren't listening before the break, we were just talking to about his incredible, phenomenal life. We finished on the topic of plants, and we have so many more questions relating to plants, because if you haven't seen, Marcus's house is basically a plant oasis. You said there was 600 plants in your home,
Well,
correct?
a little bit over that, yeah. But let's try and normalise it somewhat by keeping an even 600.
Approximately somewhere in the range of 600 plants. I asked you in the break, but I said I wanted to hear the answer on air. How do you keep them all alive, Markus?
You know what? It is so tricky because, you know, one of the issues we have in Adelaide is that Adelaide is not humid.
Yes.
I mean, you'd beg to differ, obviously, with my curly, humid-loving hair.
Humidity-loving
but
hair.
is it real? Who can say? But anyways, Adelaide is not humid. So 99% of indoor plants are actually tropical plants.
Right.
This is where we're going wrong.
Yes.
So we're bringing in these gorgeous tropical plants from, you know, high North Queensland, even, you know, high New South Wales, Darwin, where all these plants are bred and grown in, you know, beautiful, lush surroundings, thrown into Adelaide.
Into the cold.
And they can't cope.
Bitter Adelaide, and they can't cope. Or even in summer when we've got our 40-degree weather with no humidity, humidity's being sucked out of, you know, we've got dry summers.
Yes.
So these poor indoor plants of ours have to dwell inside with freezing cold air conditioning in our 40-degree days, in winter with our heating on, with our fireplaces on, etc. It's terrible. So our poor plants really are suffering. So it's about knowing how far away from the windows you need to put the plant, how far away from the heating you need to put the plant.
Yes, they're temperamental.
All these very temperamental. One of the hardest relationships I've ever had, and I've had a lot of relationships.
It's got to be with a plant. What's been your worst breakup with a plant?
My you know what? Sadly, my fiddle leaf ficus. I just did not look
Didn't get
after
along?
him very well at all.
You know, I found over the years the hardest plant to keep alive, but I've managed to work out a good relationship with them now, is the peace lilies.
Yeah,
It's
they
the
just
only
need a lot
plant
of
I have
water.
in my house, and I can't keep it alive.
The peace lilies, that was because sometimes they're like, more water, and then sometimes they're like, oh, that was too
I
much.
know.
I don't want it.
Can I tell you a tip about plants? This is a really good indicator.
This is what we
This
want.
is practically become Bert's backyard today, hasn't it?
Yes.
The plant show.
The plants.
But I'll tell you, I'll give you a little hot tip, all right?
right.
If you're getting brown edging on your leaves, that is saying you're not giving your plants enough water. All right?
Okay.
They're drying out. If you're getting a lot of browning spots from the inside of the leaf,
That's too
is
much water.
overwatering.
Okay,
all right?
there
So
you
there you
have
go.
it.
A little
There
cheat
You
sheet
heard it
have
for you.
first on Two Brunettes and a Gay.
My
That is-
husband's going to be so excited to hear that, because his garden is his... He loves
Pride
his
and joy.
garden. And so if he knows that information, that's game-changing for him.
I love
Absolutely.
that. Well, from plants to celebrities. Now, you've worked with many a celebrity as well, and so you've got the goss on the plants, but has there any interesting, notable encounters with celebrities? You don't
I
necessarily have to name them.
Have got so many
That you
fabulous
could share with
stories.
us.
Oh, honey, I will name and shame. Don't you worry about if it's that kind of
there
show.
it is, there
I
it
will
is.
give you names.
Okay.
I'm at that point in my life where I don't care anymore. I will call it out.
All right. Let's start with this one then. Highlight who was the most demanding celebrity you've ever worked with.
Adina Menzel, remember her?
Yes. Oh, my God. We went to
my
her
favourite
show.
person.
Why is she not relevant anymore? Because she's a mole.
Oh, my God.
I've
Idina.
loved her since before she was
I'm
famous,
crushing your
because I'm a
dreams.
musical theatre
An
fan.
amazing singer.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Incredible.
So
Incredibly
I saw her
talented
at
woman.
the Adelaide Cabaret Festival.
Same. We went to that show
5-10 years ago
it was,
now?
I reckon
It was
it
a
was
while
maybe
ago now.
8, 7,
I saw
8
the
years
photo
ago.
yesterday, 2013.
Okay, I'll just give you a couple of things. One reason why Adina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth were at the opposite ends of the festival.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
They don't get along.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Oh.
However, so I had the privilege and the very good fortune to do hair and makeup with my previous partner at the time as well on both of those lovely ladies.
Yes.
Kristen was incredible, just an absolute dream, a little pocket rocket. She
is,
literally
isn't
comes
she?
up to here.
Yeah,
She's a
tiny,
tiny
isn't
little
she?
thing.
She's a tiny
And she's
thing,
incredible.
and she was just absolutely gorgeous. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So we had her at the beginning of the festival.
Yes.
And we finished the festival with Idina Menzel.
Yeah,
so we
went
didn't
to
finish
that
on a good
show.
note then.
We got her
Okay.
autograph.
So we walked into the dressing room to do her hair and makeup, and she spun around and looked at us both and said, "And who are you?" And my partner at the time said, "Well, I'm here to do your hair." And I said, "Well, I'm here to do your makeup." And she looked at me and said, "It doesn't take a rocket science to do makeup." Okay, she said, "I will be able to do that myself." Anyway, there was other conversations that implied that she wasn't enjoying her time here in Adelaide, and she wished she wasn't here, etc. And she graces us on stage in her bare feet, mind
Yes,
you.
I remember her
You
being
remember that?
barefoot.
She says,
Yeah.
"Adelaide, I've been waiting to come here my whole career. You're fabulous. I love you. I love being in your town."
You're like crushing all my childhood dreams.
So what
right
you're
And
now.
we
saying
got up
is-
and left.
What you're saying
Oh
is
my
her
God.
on-stage sentiments did not match her backstage
In
personality.
any way.
Oh, okay. All right. There we go. Dreams crushed, but you heard it here first.
I was going to say, what about the best celebrity that you've ever worked
You know what?
with?
Kristen Chenoweth was amazing. I've
Right.
done stuff with Danny Minogue. She was awesome and just gorgeous, and
We have not
Don't
had the
believe
same
the
experience with Danny Minogue.
Oh no, I thought she was lovely.
Oh, she didn't like us very much.
She didn't like
Oh,
us.
dear.
Obviously, she liked you,
Yeah.
which is good.
But you know who was absolutely joyous, and you will know her, but Kathy Najimy from
Yep.
Sister Act.
Yes.
yeah.
I think
Hocus
Aaron
Pocus.
is a massive fan of her.
Yeah.
She was glorious.
Oh, that's
she
good.
was actually here for that.
You're not
Cabaret
crushing that
Festival as
childhood
well.
dream then.
And again, we did her hair and makeup. And I think we did an interview with her at the same time as well. I can't quite recall. Anyway, she was joyous.
Well,
Fun.
speaking of the Adelaide Cabaret Festival,
Yes.
Marcus Presents. You do a lot in this sphere. What is actually coming up? What have we got to look forward to in Adelaide?
Well-
what are you bringing to us?
Next Friday, so not this Friday coming, but the following Friday, Saturday and Sunday, which is the May the 19th, 20th and 21st, Anthony CALLEA and Tim Campbell, those husbands, first time doing a tour together ever.
Oh, my God. Anthony CALLEA was our...
crushed dream growing up. Anthony CALLEA not being into women when we found that out because
He
in high
was...
school
we
were all
loved him.
obsessed.
We had his poster on our wall.
Yep.
It's
Anthony
going to be
CALLEA.
an amazing show. It really is.
He's an extremely
I've
talented
got
man,
a-
as is Tim Campbell.
authority.
Tim
They're going to.
Campbell's
Well,
incredible.
he's going to. Well, Anthony's going to perform the prayer, which was his big song, obviously back in Australian Idol days. So it's going to be. I'm going to have to get you two along. In fact, you know what we should do? Let's run a competition.
Let's
give away
do
a
it.
double pass for the show
What?
on Friday the 19th of May at the Regal Theatre. Anthony CALLEA and Tim Campbell up close and unpredictable.
That is
Amazing.
fabulous. Okay.
Amazing. You heard it
This-
here first.
How do they do it?
So here's what we're going to do: is we are going to put a post up on social media tomorrow with instructions, right, of what you need to do to enter the draw, and it will probably involve something like liking and commenting and something else. We will have something for you to do on social media. We're going to run this competition for the next week, and the next Tuesday, live on air, we will announce the winner of the double pass to see Anthony CALLEA and Tim Campbell. So if you aren't following Two Brunettes and a Gay on Instagram or Facebook already, this is definitely your chance to do it.
Yes.
Go to our social media pages, give us a like or a follow, and then tomorrow we will have more details for you. Keep an eye out for the post so you can enter the competition to see the tickets.
Win that double pass.
To win that double pass, absolutely, because it's going to be an epic show.
Yeah. It is your Two Brunettes and a Gay with our gay crusher, Markus Hammence joining us.
Thank you for having me. We're having a ball, aren't we?
We're having a ball.
This has been really interesting. I do feel like we could go for 4 hours.
Oh my God, we could go for so long. And if you're wondering where Aaron is, he is in the sunny Gold Coast listening. He sent us a photo. He is listening. So shout out to you, Aaron. What we want to get onto now, Marcus, is what is happening in Adelaide. There is so much going on. There are so many things coming up. Fill us in.
Can I just say, I mean, as we were saying before, I write the Sunday Mail column every Sunday called On Your Marcus, which is a bowl. I actually filled up last Sunday's about 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
I filled up this week's Sunday Mail 2 weeks ago. There's just so much stuff going on. This weekend, can I just tell you what's happening this weekend?
Can you please tell us?
got-
Because I feel like everyone always wonders what's happening in
Rocky
Adelaide.
Horror is finishing up on Saturday night this week. So Rocky Horror
Epic
is
show.
like just going gangbusters. You've seen it. I saw you there.
We saw you
again,
there.
Yes.
That was amazing. I saw it again just last week because Nicholas Hammond has taken over the role of narrator now.
Yes.
Because Miff Warhurst has gone off to do Eurovision now.
Oh, wow.
Nicholas Hammond. Do you know who Nicholas Hammond is?
No.
So Nicholas Hammond.
I do,
You
yes.
Tell us, who is he?
I was talking to one of my students about this yesterday. No, tell me what he does. But we were talking about him yesterday.
He was in the original with Julie Andrews, Sound of Music. He played not Kurt, the other one. Who's the other boy? Not Kurt.
Oh, now you're testing my
my God.
memory.
David,
Oh,
our
no.
source of information.
Okay,
Is this the first question you
Google
haven't
that.
been able to answer for us?
Not Kurt. There's another boy.
Stand by. David's coming back with
We'll
the
get back to you on
information.
that one. But also, interestingly, he also played the very first Spider-Man on television in that red and blue lycra suit. The very first Spider-Man. Back in the original Batman days with,
Wow.
Burt Ward and all that.
So he's taken over from Miff Warhurst
So
as the narrator.
he's taken over. Amazing guy, just incredible. So we've got that. Then we've got, starting on Thursday night, we've got the State Opera with their Gilbert and Sullivan Festival that is running for... Friedrich, that's the one. Friedrich.
Back, Friedrich.
I don't know why I couldn't get that. Friedrich. So we've got the Gilbert and Sullivan Festival occurring on Thursday night with Pirates of Penzance and HMS Pinafore. But Mr. Sex God himself, Ben Mingay, is going to be... Well, he's in town now. So he's going to be performing two roles during the Gilbert and Sullivan Festival, who he's going to be playing the Pirate King in Pirates of Penzance, and he's also going to be playing a role in HMS Pinafore as well.
Oh, wow.
And then there's another plethora of shows as well. So that runs for 10 days. We've also got... What else have we got going on? I feel like there's a million things happening in town. Starting last week, we had Matador.
Yes.
We all know Matador.
Yes.
Matador was in Adelaide
we
Fringe.
interviewed Bas Pham during
Bas
the Fringe
Pham's amazing, isn't
festival as well. So we talked to him about Mansion.
Yes.
But obviously, yes. So Matador's
He's back with Matador.
So Matador had a break this year from Fringe, and
Yeah.
they obviously played up Mansion, which was incredible.
Yes.
So Matador started at the Queen's Theatre just last Friday night, I think it was
Yeah,
Saturday
okay,
night,
great.
and runs until the 13th of May, which is not far away. So make sure you go out and see that. I saw that. It was just brilliant. Very, very sexy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
There's
another one to add
not
to
a lot
the
of
list.
clothing.
I hope you don't have plans for this week because we've just given everyone a bunch of things to go and do and see.
There's a lot
Yes,
going on.
and it's so good. It's so important to support this stuff as well because
100%.
otherwise we go through these periods where nothing comes and everyone complains there's nothing to do.
know.
Adelaide really in the last couple of years, I found that, and because I lived between Adelaide and the Gold Coast for the last couple of years, right? And what I found is we were so lucky here in Adelaide because our restrictions were so light in comparison to other states that we actually had a lot more starting to happen here, believe it or not. And now let's just hope that continues, throughout this period. But you know what the question is, Marcus?
Sure.
Where does everybody find all of this stuff on a weekly basis?
In his column on your Marcus.
Yes.
Check out Sunday Mail on your
Okay,
Marcus.
on your Marcus.
But you know what? Just do your research. Go to... I'm not going to give away everyone else's kind of platforms necessarily because, they haven't given you the money for it, have they? No. If they want exposure, they
If
can
anybody
pay you.
wants to be our sponsor, though, we
just
will-
do
we are
some
looking for
Googling.
one.
What's on in Adelaide this weekend, and you'll come up with a heap of websites.
Yeah.
I've got to point out two more things, if I could.
Please.
Because I love supporting local South Australian, arts and
We're with you
entertainment.
on that.
We have got an incredible group of people called the Hills Musical Community
Yes.
up in Stirling Theatre.
Yep.
Up in Stirling.
Amateur theatre,
It's amateur theatre. It's but it's actually above average because it's like, it's amazing
yes.
professionals. They've got a Cole Porter show called Kiss Me Kate.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Which started last weekend. My darling friends are in it. It's definitely worth seeing. I'm going to see it on Friday nights.
Excellent.
But it's getting amazing reviews, and it runs for another week, I think. So go and check that out. Another one that I was just thinking of, and now it has just escaped me, Isn't That Always the Way? Just like a bad relationship or like a good relationship. But then may come back to it, but I've just forgotten another really good one that I was just going to tell you about.
So we might have a finale show. As well as, if you missed before the break, Marcus has so graciously gifted one of our listeners, or two of our listeners, a double pass to Anthony CALLEA and Tim Campbell next Friday night on the 19th of May. So we will be doing a competition for those tickets on our social media. They are coming to Adelaide. If you miss out on winning those tickets, definitely purchase whatever is left for their show next weekend, 19th, 20th and 21st of May. They're coming, correct?
Where can people get tickets for that show?
They can get them through trybooking.com or marcuspresents.com.au.
Excellent.
I just thought of the other thing.
It's
just come back to me.
God.
Okay, so we all know, I mean, it's no secret, check the hair, but I'm a massive 80s fan.
Yes.
No.
Okay, I wasn't there. I've heard about it. Shut up, don't judge
I
me.
actually wasn't there.
I was born
But
there.
Deanna
do you
was
remember
there.
Billy Ocean?
Yes.
When the
Yes.
going gets tough, the tough get... Well, he's coming to Adelaide in June.
Oh.
Guess what? I am so excited. I can't even wait. I have to wake up bright and early, 5 o'clock on Friday morning, because I'm interviewing Billy Ocean.
Oh, wow.
For the paper. So I'm so excited to find out, because he had a plethora of hits.
Yes, of course.
Caribbean Queen, Get Out of My Car and Into My Dreams. I mean, who haven't I said that to? So yeah, that's going to be a really good show as well in June.
Funny fact about him, his song "When the Going Gets Tough" was actually the #1 song the year on the day Aaron was born in 1986.
Yes, we had our
Wow.
birthday show a couple of
86.
weeks ago, and we had the #1 song. Mine was "I Should Be So Lucky," Kylie Minogue.
Kylie Minogue, and
Aaron's was Billy Ocean.
When
So
the
there
going
you
gets
go.
tough. So there
I
you
wonder
go.
what mine was. Probably something from the
We can
Beatles.
find out.
We can find out.
Let's not
Great.
give away my age.
Oh, I know. That's
I've paid
top
way
secret.
too much for this face to give away my age.
That is top secret information. We will tell him. He will tell you about the celebrities, but we will not disclose
His age.
All right.
There is just some things that you just cannot share.
No. Well, that was our very own little special segment of On Your Marcus, Man About Town. And of course, if you want to know more about this stuff from Marcus, because as you can see, he's such a wealth of information about this. His column in the Sunday Mail every single week. People can obviously get it in the paper and online as well,
Correct.
can't they?
Yes, correct.
So it's really great to support local. And if you're listening on the podcast and you're not local to Adelaide, find what's local in your area as well, because we are obviously huge about local talent here at
Get out
Brunettes
there
A
and
Gay,
support the
because
arts.
that's how we all started out so many years ago in the local scene, and I guess supporting the performing arts as much as we possibly can, hence why we like to have lots of entertainers on the show as well. But we have our very favourite Tuesday tea time coming up right after the break, a very special edition with Markus Hammence, so stay tuned for that after the news.
And it is Two Brunettes and a Gay featuring the fabulous Markus Hammence back for your Tuesday. We are back with our always favourite Tuesday tea time. It was a big weekend in the world of celebrity. First and foremost, the Coronation, but we're going to come back to the Coronation because I just want to kick off a little bit with the MTV Awards that actually aired in the United States on Sunday.
Always an interesting mixed bunch, that
I
one.
did not know this, but it actually was not a live telecast, okay? It says the MTV Movie and TV Awards faced a series of roadblocks this year due to the ongoing Writers Guild of America strike. While the award show was set to broadcast live, it was announced that due to the strike, the network would air a pre-taped special as several attendees announced they were pulling out of the show. That's got to be the first time in history that it's not been a live telecast.
Right, because it's usually a really big ordeal.
Yes, 100%. So obviously you had lots of categories. Main ones, best movie. Scream, I think it's 6. I'm not great with Roman numerals. Is it 6? Is the V and the 1 6?
Well, yeah, V is the 5. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay, best movie went to Scream V1, also known as Scream 6. Best TV show went to The Last of Us, and this is the one that I wanted to talk about. Best reality documentary series, I think for another year in a row. I could be wrong, but it went to The Kardashians.
Oh, Aaron's least favourite.
I want to bring them up.
Celeste loves the Kardashians.
We've been talking about this for weeks. Are they still relevant? Were they going to be invited to the Met Gala? We didn't know. There was talks that they weren't relevant anymore and that they weren't going to be invited. As it was last week, 3 of them were there. Marcus, Kardashians, are you a fan first and foremost?
Look, I'm not, but I don't think it's fair. Look, I'm going to be the nice gay. I don't think it's fair for us to go around saying you're relevant, you're not.
Yep.
I don't think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty bad behaviour.
I'm not a fan of cancel
I'm not a
culture.
fan of that. Not good. But in regards to respecting them, no, not really. I think they're very, very good at their business.
They're very good at what they do.
I'm not a fan.
Very good at what they
You
do.
know, credit where credit's due.
You
and I share a similar opinion. I'm not a fan, but I totally respect their business sense.
Well, what I think it means, if they've just won this award again, they're clearly still relevant. There's no way. I mean, everyone wants to say, oh, they're no longer relevant, but there's no way you'd be winning an MTV award if you had no relevance anymore.
Well, I mean, what are the awards based on? Is it ratings?
That's a good question. I actually think it's votes. I think it's votes from the public.
I think the MTV is absolutely yes. So you know what? They've got their fans. Let them have their fans.
Yeah,
It's
and
cool.
there's quite a few of them.
You don't need to have the whole world love you. I mean, look at my life.
We don't even have the whole of our family love us, so we get it. But not only I know, but not only the MTV Awards, we also had the Coronation and the Coronation concert. Now it was given 3 out of 5 stars by The Guardian, which I don't know if we necessarily agree with this, but they
rated the Coronation.
They did, and they actually said.
Did anybody ask them to?
It was titled "A Cobbled Together Bunch of B-Listers."
Ooh,
that's rough, right?
It is.
That's a very rough review. Okay, so if you weren't sure who was in the concert lineup, I'll give you a bit of an overview.
Who's in it?
Okay, we had Take That minus Robbie Williams, if I'm correct in saying so. Right, so Take That minus Robbie Williams.
Well, we did a show not long ago where we were like,
That, no.
we don't like bands that are missing a member. Like we don't think that's a thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
they should retire 100%. Katy Perry, she's huge.
Yeah,
how is she classified as a B-lister?
Especially like for Menulog.
Lionel Richie.
Menulog commercials.
Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie is Lionel Richie.
Well, he's okay. He's
know.
a legend.
I don't know if he's a B-list celebrity. I feel like that's an insult.
I know, right? And then you've got Paloma Faith, Ollie Murs, Andrea Bocelli.
You
cannot class, especially on this radio station. That is blasphemous to call Andrea Bocelli a B-list celebrity. There was Bette Midler. Love myself some
God,
Bette.
I love our Bette.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's gone too far now.
They've gone too far.
Right?
I actually did not know she was there.
Yeah, neither did I. And she's far down the list. Like, give the woman credit where credit's due.
Thank you very much.
Isn't that ridiculous? We also had Nicole Scherzinger from the Pussycat Dolls. She did her own solo thing.
But
There we go, yeah.
And quite a few others, including the Coronation Choir. I think that was a rough review.
I think so. But you know what? Everyone wants their claim to fame these days. And I think these kind of people that do their reviews and they're trolling and all that kind of stuff, they're usually nameless, usually faceless. And you know what? What are you doing with your life, mister? You're sitting down in your little dark room.
Behind your little keyboard.
You know, going bang, 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 being ruthless.
Though. Everyone's trying to be the next. Clickbait is the next big thing.
Pay no attention.
I agree.
The haters are going to hate.
Do you get a lot of it being in
I get a bit.
The media? Like, obviously, you write for the Sunday Mail.
Well, I actually took over the Sunday Mail role last August. There was definitely a bumpy road where people didn't appreciate me coming in and taking over. There was a month of like a bit of uneasiness. I had some bad reviews coming in.
People were reviewing your column.
Well, you know, reviewing.
Giving their opinion, giving their unsolicited advice.
Unsolicited advice.
I heard some stuff, but you know what? It's always going to happen. It's fine. It's fine. And I think no matter what you do, there's always going to be critique. And it's about taking on what you need to take on and deflecting the rest, and not letting it affect you. But it doesn't matter what job you do. There's always going to be. I don't care if you work in a radio station or work over there in the car mechanics across the road or whatever they're called. What is it, Toyota? I don't know. I don't do cars.
Dealership. Something
Please,
like that.
they got me here. That's all I know. But there's always going to be someone that's got something bad to say about you. Whatever.
It's funny though.
Don't
I think
wear
the
it.
current
Pay no
climate
attention.
is more like everyone's always had an opinion. Humans are entitled to their opinion. It's the one thing we can't control. The difference is that it's so accessible to give your opinion these days.
They can
and
give
share
you
it.
your opinion without a face or a name.
Yes.
That's where we are. I remember when I was growing up, if you had something bad to say about somebody, you said it to their face, and you'd know about it. These days, you can do it all online
And then run away.
And run away and hide. Yeah, I hate you, but you're never going to know who I am. Who hates you?
Well, speaking of people that aren't well liked, I mean, I think she's possibly growing in favour, but Camilla Parker Bowles.
Camilla Parker Bowles, I think, was a big conversation that happened at the coronation as well. And it's interesting because they're reporting, and I mean, I've got a report here from the Washington Post as well, that she is making a comeback. In fact, she may just be the biggest comeback of all time. Right?
Next to Cher.
Oh,
Come on, there's
well, I
Cher.
mean, look, we're a big fan of the Cher comeback.
Cher
for
is
sure.
definitely over Camilla Parker Bowles for me, but yep.
Yes, I know, but what they're saying, what is being said about her, interestingly enough,
She's
now,
growing in favour with the British public, isn't she?
She is growing in favour, and they're saying that obviously, someone who was once, I guess, repelled by the public has now won her way back to everybody's hearts through time and patience and consistency in just showing up, consistently being herself, consistently being there for good causes as well. And I guess just proving her worth, because obviously, even though they're saying she will always be known as the other woman, they're saying she is making the greatest comeback of all time. And there's always the diehard Diana fans, and we've heard all about people tweeting and posting pictures of Diana throughout the coronation saying this will always be my queen. But a lot more support is growing for Queen Camilla.
Well, interesting fun fact about Camilla Parker Bowles, she's afraid of flying, apparently, according to David, so they are unsure if she will actually ever tour with the king.
See, I think that would be good for her image if she can, work on that stuff for sure. The more that you're out there and the more that you're with the people.
Get on the flight, Camilla. Let's be honest. I'm sure they have a private plane. It's not like she's flying in cattle class with the rest of us. She's going to be on her own plane. You can do it, Camilla. We're behind you.
You can suffer that little bit of turbulence.
Exactly.
You're first class,
You'll
baby.
be fine.
But it poses a good conversation because, we love a good comeback on this show and we love a good retirement as well.
What would you retire?
Well, this is the thing. We love to do a little segment from time to time called Comebacks and Retirements. And so obviously, Camilla has been put on the comeback list. Marcus, what's on your comeback list?
You know what? Well, I kind of just said it, didn't I? I kind of gave way to it earlier. But Cher, we haven't heard from Cher for a while.
Yes.
She's
Yep.
been sitting on the shelf.
I
reckon it's
behind
time.
The
her.
last Mamma Mia movie, really.
Yeah, really.
We haven't seen
I think
her.
it's time for Cher to do her 10th comeback.
I would
think
agree
she's
with
got it
that
in her.
110%.
She's looking great. She's got that 19-year-old boyfriend. I have actually, he's a bit older than that.
20.
I'm kind of deflecting my relationships. Don't judge
you
me.
the next
Don't
Cher?
judge me. But
You do you, boo.
Yeah. But he's actually a record producer. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I
No.
didn't know that.
Very good-looking young guy. But he's a record producer. Word is that he's actually producing her next album. So
Oh.
there is a comeback
She's the
coming.
best.
There's a comeback
And
in the works.
So she would be
She
my
just makes
comeback.
people happy.
Give me some Cher. Give me some Cher time.
Fantastic. I agree.
Yeah, so there you go. That's my answer.
Blessed.
My comeback? Pre-COVID flight prices.
Oh, thank you.
Ridiculous. Trying to book any type of holiday with these flight prices. I can't hang. I'm not here for it. We need to go back. We need those pre-COVID flight prices
Yes,
to come
please.
back. Make it more accessible, people. People need a holiday.
Yeah.
They need
And
a
give me
holiday.
the COVID petrol back, please. Because COVID petrol was
petrol
so
prices.
cheap.
It was actually,
Yeah.
and you had nowhere to go, so it
And we had
lasted
nowhere to
a really
go.
long time.
Yeah, yeah.
That was good.
Deanna, what's your comeback?
Look, I got a few, but I'm going to say that what's the thing that I feel like needs to make a comeback right now? People dressing nicely for occasions.
Oh, yep.
You know, yes,
Yep.
I
Yes,
think you
please.
get this being in fashion
Yes.
as well. And I know, like, I get it. Like, at the end of the day, people say dressing is just a superficial thing and it's nothing to do with the person. And I totally respect that. Trust me, more than anyone. But also being artistic at the same time. I appreciate self-expression, and I feel like dressing is an extension of that. But sometimes I feel like it's just nice to put effort in, and the way that we put effort into ourselves, the way we do one thing, the way we do anything sometimes as well. So I'm just all about, like, let's get out of the tracky dags and back into, you know, wearing some nice clothing.
Honey, I 100% subscribe to that, and I disagree with the statement that clothing is superficial. It is absolutely everything you do in your life is an extension of who you are, whether it be your personality, whether it be your hair, whether it be what you wear.
Self-expression.
All of it is an extension. So if you're going to wake up every single day and just throw on that daggy old jumper just because it's lying there and it's moth-ridden and whatnot, coffee stains all down the front, well, good luck to you. Good luck to you, honey.
Spruce
but you know
up.
what? Give yourself absolutely a fighting chance in this crazy old world that we've got.
Yep.
Dress up, show up, be fabulous.
I know. Well, it's just so much opportunity is available in the way that we present ourselves. So, you know, like I'm all for like being comfies at home. When you work from home, I work from home in my comfies all of the time. Go to the shops, whatever, it doesn't matter. But if you've got like an event on specifically or going out to a nice dinner, I think we should bring back the sprucing up a little bit.
You know what we should retire? The wearing sneakers to town.
Oh, like, and on a Saturday night in Hindley.
I can't do it.
No,
I can't
we
do
did
the
not do that
cocktail
back in
dress
our
with
day.
the
Yeah, we wouldn't be
sneakers.
allowed in.
It needs
No.
to go.
Yeah, they're allowed in
It needs
these
to go.
days. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, retirements then. Marcus, do you have one?
Retirements is bad attitude. You know, generally just bad attitude. Put it away.
I agree.
Bring back the manners. If you don't have manners, you know, don't go out the house.
Yep.
Stay home.
Yep, stay home.
You know,
It
give me
takes
some
nothing
manners.
to
Don't
be
be a
nice.
Karen.
Bad attitudes, negative attitudes, bad vibes, retire it.
Yep.
I like it.
Enough.
I've subscribed to that
I
too.
agree.
There you go, Celeste.
I gave you mine. Sneakers with cocktail dresses. Don't do it. Retire it. Listen, if it's a comfort thing, put on a pair of boots. There's many options available
Yeah,
to
you
you
can get lights and flat boots.
that isn't wearing canvas shoes with a cocktail dress.
Canva.
And
Come
while
from
we're
Canva.
at it, put on a jacket. It's winter.
You're going to catch a cold.
Put some fabric on those legs,
The
ladies.
blue skin look shaking like a leaf. It's not helping. The jacket will look better. To put the jacket on. That's my rant. Deanna, what needs to
I feel like
retire?
we're showing our age this show. All right. Unsolicited DMs from people trying to sell shit.
Yeah.
People who DM and they're like, hey, babe, oh, my God. Like, and I don't know. Look, I'm a business owner, right? So I get a lot of this. Marcus,
Oh,
I don't know
really? You
about
haven't mentioned that 6 times this show.
Oh, thanks for that. Well, sorry, it's just what I do every single friggin' day. But like, I get these messages all the time, like, "Hey, babe, you look like someone who'd be really interested into this multi-level marketing thing that I've got going because you look like you're into business. Would you like to sell face wash?" No, I don't. Check out my profile properly and see that I have my hands full. Thank you very much.
Unsolicited sales. Not into it.
Unsolicited DMs. That's just
It's coming a lot through a lot of our friends, and obviously straight away you know that your friends aren't behind it. You know they've been hacked,
Yep.
which is really unfortunate.
Oh no, it's called sell by chat. It's like a proper marketing strategy that multi-level marketing companies give to people. But a lot of these aren't my friends. A lot of these are people that my friends. I mean, if they're like starting a new business or whatever, like I'm totally into supporting people, right? To a certain point, and you got to do it on your own. But I'm there to support. But these are coming from people who add you. Oh, and they're like, "Hey, thanks for the ad," and I'm like, "You added me first." And then they're like, "I just noticed this. Do you want?" And no. Anyway, it's a long story. I could go on about it for a while, but I think we need to retire this segment now. That has been an epic Tuesday tea
Put her
time.
away.
Put it away because we have to throw to a break, and we will be back after the break with your favourite, the thing you have all been waiting for, shit advice. We have come to the last segment in our show, which is our favourite always shit advice, because it's our opportunity to talk to our not very qualified experts whose advice you shouldn't listen to
Definitely
about
should.
questions that we surf the webs for on advice that needs to be given. And usually we have our shit doctors, Celeste and Aaron, but now we have Markus.
Aaron warns me about
Markus
this
is in the
section.
Did
house.
he? Did he?
Yeah,
Well,
he-
Markus, you are now a shit non-qualified doctor here to give advice. And in honor of Markus tonight, who has said that he has plenty of relationship stories to give, we've gone with a relationship-themed question for this evening. I always like the relationship ones. I feel like they're the juiciest because I feel like everyone has different opinions on relationships.
Hit us with the question.
All right.
What are we
Okay.
giving advice on?
My boyfriend hates when I receive flowers from my male co-worker. He rarely gets me flowers, but recently I'm working as a paralegal, and I've been working with someone who I'm frequently helping at work, getting documents for and everything that they need. And this particular co-worker is getting this girl flowers quite regularly, by the sounds of things, maybe every week or two. And she's saying it's purely platonic and she doesn't understand why her boyfriend is getting upset, considering he never gets her flowers. Now, some people might say that this is crossing a line, and some people might say it's harmless, but these types of little nuances of relationships always seem to be the most controversial. So let's throw it over to our shit doctors. Celeste, is this acceptable behaviour or is it not?
Well, she's saying she doesn't understand why her boyfriend's getting upset. That's a lie. You understand why he's getting upset. It's a jealousy thing. Do I think it's acceptable? Well, listen, I think that it's acceptable for her coworker to get her flowers on occasion if it's a thank you gesture. I think if it's a regular gesture and it's happening on a weekly basis or a fortnightly basis, there's probably an undertone of attraction there. But her boyfriend sounds like a douchebag, so drop him.
She's saying, am I being a bad partner for not stopping my coworker from sending flowers?
Yes, you are being a bad partner by not stopping the coworker from sending flowers, but there's a reason that she's not stopping the coworker from sending the flowers, and she needs to take a look at her life.
Yeah. Look,
Markus.
she is an attention whore. Absolutely. Oh, do we know? Actually, before I actually ask.
Do we know the person? No, we do not.
Okay,
We do
that's
not.
lucky. If you live in Adelaide, I'm really, really sorry. Imagine if it turned out to be my sister. Oh, my goodness. No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. I know that she is happily married.
Shout out to
But
Markus'
no,
sister.
she's totally attentional. She's loving the attention.
Absolutely.
And of course, if he had given her one bunch of flowers, maybe it's a thank you. But if we're talking like 10 bunches of flowers down the track, he wants more.
Yep.
Absolutely, in every single way, the boyfriend's got a right to say, look, honey, something's going wrong here. She's got to sort out her need for attention.
Yep.
I don't think it's the co-worker's fault at all. It's totally her fault. She's got to say, look, buddy, it's not happening. I'm really happily in a
Yep.
relationship. Clearly the boyfriend has probably got to step up a little bit and maybe give her a bigger bunch of flowers.
Yep.
Go to 10th Street. Don't get them from the service station. That kind of stuff,
Not those cellophane wrapped flowers. We want a
And
nice
not gerbras.
glass
Gerbras last a day.
vase.
Yep.
Yes, with some,
Absolutely.
like recycled paper.
Yep.
With that, like a nice tie on it. Okay, so doctors, then tell me what you would do if you were in this situation and it was your partner who was getting. If your partner was the one getting flowers,
So we're the boyfriend.
you're the boyfriend. Tell me
role
what you'd do
play.
if you were the boyfriend.
Are we both the boyfriend?
You're both the boyfriend.
And what would I do if I was the boyfriend?
Yes.
I'd probably be like, listen, this is making me feel really unhappy or really uncomfortable. You need to ask him to stop. And if she said, no, I'm not going to do that because it's uncomfortable for me at work or whatever the case is, I'd be like, okay, well, me or him.
Ooh, so you'd be that cutthroat about it.
Well, I think if you've asked on numerous occasions, she said it's happened multiple times and it happens frequently.
That's the issue.
It's not that it's happened once. If it happened once and the boyfriend kicked off about it, I'd be like, mate, settle down, sit down, no one's interested. But if it's happening frequently, like we said, she likes the attention. And while we're at it, I've said this before and I'll say it again, let's not blame the person giving the flowers. He might know that she's married.
100%.
The responsibility lies on the shoulders of the person in the relationship to control this. If it never comes down to the other person. If you're in a relationship, it's your responsibility.
Yeah, no, that definitely is true. And I've seen it on multiple occasions with friends before as well. People do have the ability to stop or not encourage the behaviour. Like if that door is closed, someone won't, like they might try once or twice and then they give up pretty easily.
We've got to remember, we now live in a society where there's all kinds of different relationships, all different kinds of labels, all of this kind of stuff. So a man, her co-worker, assumably a man, who knows, it doesn't matter, but somebody has got an attraction towards her. They're trying it on. It's her job to say, no, I'm in a monogamous relationship. I love my boyfriends, etc. Or, hey, bring it on. Come home back to my place because we love a threesome. Who knows? But it absolutely lies with her. 100%.
What would you do if you were the boyfriend, Marcus?
I would try not to look like a jealous scumbag and try and look very, very rational about it, obviously, which guys are not always capable of doing in this situation. But, hold your horses a little bit, try and contain yourself and just talk it through logically and say, look, hey, you know what, 10 bunches of flowers from another guy I don't really want in our house. This is getting a bit weird now. You need to start saying something to the guy or and address the situation, because otherwise this is not going to work, because you are clearly loving the attention.
Absolutely.
And who do you want the attention from?
Yep. And while we're at it, the fact that she's bringing them home is because she's trying to prove a point.
Exactly.
Otherwise, she would leave them in the office.
Yep.
It's true, because, we can constantly try and, fill a void. And so I think what we need to address is what void that's filling for her and what void she potentially either needs filled from a partner or she needs to address within herself. Who knows?
Yep.
Well, I love that shit advice. Thank you, not very qualified doctors, for your advice this week.
That was my most qualified advice.
That was pretty good,
I feel like that was
actually.
good advice.
Yeah,
that was
I don't
good
think it was too bad.
advice.
If that guy really wants to send flowers, here's my address, honey.
We'll post it on social media for you later. Send flowers to Marcus.
You could very well win those Anthony CALLEA tickets if you do that.
Yes. Well, that brings us to the end of our show. And I was going to say, again, if you've just tuned in or you're listening on the podcast, remember to head to Facebook or Instagram and follow Two Brunettes and a Gay. We're going to be putting up a post tomorrow for a giveaway for a double pass, thanks to the wonderful Markus Hammence, who has been an amazing guest in here. Let's give him a round of applause as well.
I had a ball. Thank you for having me.
We've had
Brilliant.
so much fun with you. And Markus has generously offered us a double pass to a show that he is graciously bringing to Adelaide, starring Anthony CALLEA and Tim Campbell in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time.
May the 19th. Friday, May the 19th.
Friday, May the 19th for the double pass. So if you want your opportunity to win that, head to our socials and we will have instructions on how to do that tomorrow, and we will announce the winner live on the show next week.
We will.
And of course, if you are listening live and you want to catch us on the podcast, we're available on all the major podcasting platforms. Or if you're listening on the podcast and you want to listen live, you can go to your app store and download the Radio Italia Uno Adelaide app and listen to us at 5 o'clock on Adelaide every week.
5 o'clock Adelaide time on Tuesdays every week. And while we're at it, Marcus, if people want to follow you, because you are such a wealth of knowledge, so much fun, where can they find you?
Find me in the back of the Sunday Mail.
Perfect.
Okay, on your
On your
Marcus
Marcus.
page every Sunday, or on Instagram, Facebook under Markus Hammence. Pretty easy. Marcus with a K.
Markus with a K. Marcus, thank you so much once again. You've been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. I've had so
Loved
much
having
fun.
you.
The gay shoes are big shoes to fill, and I think you've done it well. So I think we'll
The
get...
Gay Gatecrasher has done a fabulous job.
Send us some messages on socials. Let us know if you liked Marcus, and we'll get him back on for more in the future. But
And if you don't, my name's Damien.
if you don't, his name's Damien. There you go.
Damien.
Until next week, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Ciao, Adelaide. It's your favourite trio, Two Brunettes and a Gay, here to remind you to join us every Tuesday at 5 p.m. for your drive home.
Expect the best beats, sassiest segments, and plenty of piping hot tea from the weekly rumour mill. And let's be honest, we know us Italians love a good gossip.
So tune in at 5 p.m. every Tuesday right here on your number one station, Radio Italia Uno, 87.6 FM.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.